Well, thank you very much for attending my keynote. I want to tell you very quickly what WellReader is, what we do, who makes up the team, and a couple of use cases of what problem we come to solve and why it makes sense for us to have created this company. When I was introduced, I've been introduced as a well-known person, but well, I'm going to tell you where I and the team that founded WealthReader come from. I set up a company called Afterbanks 10 years ago. It was an open banking platform like so many others out there that, in the end, has ended up being regulated with PSD2 and accesses current accounts, positions and services, ERPs, cloud accounting applications, and the main banks in Spain. When you click on Connect to Other Banks, what we saw is that the picture is not complete for some use cases. For some, yes, it is covered. It is useful for scoring. It is useful for a company to keep its treasury up to date. Is suitable for a personal finance application, but the private banking part of the application was unattended because PSD2, if you have been to the presentations this morning, what it came to regulate was the access to current accounts, and that's it. The rest of the financial products, APIs, do not offer this information, all that is left out of the picture. We saw that in private banking it is necessary to know the entire asset position of a person. And now let's go to the use cases, one for recurrent access and one for punctual access. Let's go to the first one. We see that manual work is still being done and that the situation is a bit like the one before PSD2, where a lot of manual work was also done because people had to enter the banks, connect to reconcile banks. This is still happening in family offices. Family offices, their assets are not mainly in checking accounts. They are in investment funds, but also other types of assets. So this work that they are now doing manually through our API, which is an API that connects with the other APIs, we are doing it manually and extracts this information in a standardized, quality, and stable manner. We integrate into their own existing tools. We are simply a piece. If they had a reporting tool that they fed manually, now it feeds information automatically. If they had a Tableau, an Excel, or wealth management tools to manage their assets, there are even family offices that have developed their own tools and use them for themselves. But they all had the same problem, manual part. Then there is this other use case, which is a one-time use. The problem that private banking has is that in the onboarding of a new client, when they want to know their positions, their clients' positions in other banks to make a fund transfer, they have two KPIs that WealthReader improves for banks. One is the funds transfer conversion. Funds transfer today has a high rejection rate because it requires very specific data, ISIN code and number of shares, in order to be able to order the transfer of funds. These business that directly the bank, if they don't get the conversion, then may lose the customer. The other KPI that improves them is the reduction in the cost of operation. In the case of success in which the transfer is achieved, there has been a manual process over several days in which the customer has gone to his bank. They have had to extract the information to find out in his bank of origin and give it to the destination bank on PDF or on paper and pass it to a back office of the bank that will be in charge of ordering the transfer. And if it is successful, it will be passed on. But there has been a long, difficult, and uncomfortable process. These are our two use cases. I have intentionally kept the presentation very short so as not to bore you because two use cases are enough. We do not want to cover more. And that's why this presentation ends here. I have nothing more to say unless you have any questions